Aurora Bearialis by the Dragon Common Room. Illustrations by HandDrawnBear. Edited by Rachel Fulton Brown. For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined in our hearts, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. 2 Corinthians 4:6. Prologue. We sing a tale of bears who sought a gem, a pirate's treasure, lost for centuries. 3 brown and 1 translucent bear left home to sail to where the ice wall meets the sea. An albatross bore messages of hope. A panda bear needs rescue from the seals. The penguins guard the treasure, and the ice, the gemstone of the heavens, without price. Lord, help us with our story to be told. The animals are ready to set out. 4 brother bears, they stand before you bold, their quest to find a gemstone in the south. Dread monsters they fear not, nor icy cold. They want to know what life is all about. Adventure calls, they board their ship and sail. And thus with rhymes, we now begin our tale. Act 1. The Net. The light was named in time before the spark, when yet it had no glass through which to shine. It seemed with joy to laugh into the dark, where air is thin and sky is crystalline. Bearialis peered at it from his bark, the world above refracting celestine, like smoke that trailed into the dark abyss. To breach the ceiling of the world, he wished. He'd open heaven's curtain with his fist. With his wide paw he dragged the air to rend, like foggy breath within his palm, a mist. Aurora's fume-like webs caught in his hands. No bear can cup the northern lights, he lisped. An albatross onto the ice descends. It's Abner, whose white wings had sailed the winds to seek the world beyond the polar blinds. The bear's heart leapt to see his friend the bird, a traveler whom no land could anchor long. Through monsoon tropics he had sailed assured, while bears had learned to cast their nets along the polar North Sea and their childhood fjord. The albatross would always talk in song, in shoals of harmony his words were caught. He's odd, that bird, or so Australis thought. But trilled the bird, stars melt down south, you know, and at world's end they blaze with constant fire. For when the sun sinks under pale blue snow, the southern sky ignites like time's own pyre. Aurora strikes a chord that's deep and low, attuned with seraphim on emerald lyres, with burning crystals on the bow of rain. Lo! There was I last year upon Samhain. I knew it, cried the bear. The earth is flat. I wish I had an airship to take wing. I'd fly up to the moon, for real, don't laugh, to where the lights of time begin to sing. You'd never make it there and back, you're fat. You don't know north from south or what to bring. Your mother told you stories of the light, but you were too busy getting into fights. The bird took wing as one great paw lashed out. You're banned, shot Australis. Bird cocked an eye. No polar bear has ever journeyed south. The seals will laugh when they see you float by. Not mad, the bear spit salmon from his mouth. Those puppies don't scare me. Beowulf am I. As Australis pooh-poohed the taunts of seals, he dreamed of stars that spun like firework wheels. The bear sighed, wistful. Must be nice to fly. Then Abner laughed. I've seen you swim and hunt. You've got 4 paws, a nose, and 2 good eyes. Are you a bear, or is it all a front? A mighty roar, a splash, the bear leapt high. Tail feathers in his mouth, he gave a grunt. The albatross soared up into the air, his beak turned to the southern hemisphere. Australis' eyes flashed with the firmament, his hunter's heart was lit like winter fire. He took the plunge and swam through Arctic currents in winding trails of icy, cold sapphire. He paused along the way to check the ancient Map above his head, the stars inspired. He took a breath, consulted with the sky. I wonder how much further, he opined. A splash broke through his musings. Nothing there. And then a growl astern. What could it be? A sea monster? A seal? Another bear? He felt a tug, then could not move or see. Around him swarms of fish drew ever near. He swam against the draught. He tried to breathe, but inexorably was dragged away by unseen paws of fisherfolk. Mayday! There sat 3 bears in one small fishing ark. They'd cast their nets into the icy blue. Their fishing prospects had been looking stark. By tea time they would argue what to do. Ivan the eldest bared his teeth in snark. I've never seen our dad catch fish with you. Bro Henry crossed his wet paws with a huff, while Spencer cast the nets in quick rebuff. Now, Spencer was the youngest of the 3. I hope we can get home by dinner time. The other bears prepared to disagree, when lo, the whole boat rocked from side to side. The net! Screamed Ivan, scrambling to retrieve. We caught a whale! Cried Henry with great pride. That's not a fish, said Spencer of their catch. A great white bear emerged, and full of wrath. A devil! Ghost! The young twins shrieked with fright. Dread Ulfie fumed and climbed into the boat. He's just a bear, you big dopes, Ivan sighed. Can't you tell by looking at his coat? Hey you, big guy, what brings you on the tide? You want to eat with us and share a loaf? Ulfilas growled and tossed his netted mire. I eat not till I see the rocks of fire. Fiery rocks! No bread! The twins lamented. You swim in search of one big lump of coal. Too much honey's made his brain fermented. His head is filled with starry rock and roll. I'm fine, Ulfilas roared, disoriented. I'm telling you about a worthy goal. The twins opined. Sure, you seek a rock. Now tell us how you rock around the clock. Guys, just hear me out, cried Ulfie. You know the stars that shine here in the north? The albatross has eyes with which to see, high on the winds that from this realm go forth. He's found a chorus singing o'er the sea, that flames with joy seen nowhere else on earth. Come with me now, let's find the seraphim, whose singing burns the heavens from within. Sarah what? Asked Spencer with a snicker. I don't trust birds, quipped Henry with a frown. All 3 brother bears began to bicker, while on the bow Ulfilas stood his ground. There's no way we'll make it home for dinner. You want a shiny stone to fit your crown? I trust him, Ivan countered. He's a bear. And you want us to follow him to where? I see you have a spyglass, Ulfie said. Come, I'll show you stars of rare astronomy. And why the jar? To keep your sandwich spread? I'll show you marvels of geology. And with that spear, do you hunt chunks of bread? Who's bold enough to pierce the open sea? Cast down your nets, don't let this pass you by. Adventure calls, and we must answer, aye. The eldest said, I must consult my bros. I'm game, let's go. The youngest shook his spear. But, Henry said, with him, he trusts a crow. And where he wants to go just isn't clear. Come on, bro, be a bear, stop with your woes. You're such a cub, you're just so full of fear. Ivan, sensing that Spencer went too far, said, You could catch the light in your glass jar. I'm Ivan, said the eldest to their guest. We'd like to go with you, all 3 of us. That's Henry, and that's Spence, he loves to jest. I'm Ulfie, that's short for Ulfilas. Ivan asked, Which way should we sail? West? We follow our bird guide towards Australis. I trust him with my life, he knows the way. And so the bears set sail to seize the day. The twins as one unfurled the square blue sail, while Ivan steered the boat back in the stern. Ulfilas on the bow eyed Abner's trail, a feather clenched between his teeth. Well earned. Joy filled the bear crew, fearless of the gale, as Ulfie sought the light for which he yearned. A jaunty boat above the white-capped waves, a white bird leading on the way he paves. What mysteries lie ahead? What will they find? What happens if the cost is much too steep? Monsters? Friends? A treasured jewel enshrined? Courageously, bears sail into the deep. A changing wind, they smell it on the brine, but Ulfie, stalwart, vows the quest to keep. They venture into darkness for light's sake. A fin as black as midnight dogs their wake.